Welcome to all. See, today's class, all questions are for those who are studying structural engineering, pre-stress concrete, post-tension members. In case of post-tension members, in the PSC beam cross-section, there will be holes. That is sometimes called ducts also. See, ducts will be there along the member for passing the cable. That duct will be sometimes not grouted, sometimes effectively grouted. But even if it is effectively grouted, it is safer side. Some people consider it as empty portion. Okay, that's all comes in pre-test concrete, don't bother. For others, it is a question. See, question is what? See, rectangular section of a beam, 230 by 500. I word you words. There is a rectangular hole of width 120, depth 65, top edge of it is at 50 mm from top. Also, this circular hole, see, both can be rectangular, both can be circular. Circular hole of diameter 110. The bottom edge is at 75 from bottom edge of the beam. Over. Find moment of inertia about centroidal axis. Okay. So, for people in general, this is a question of finding moment of inertia for rectangular section with the rectangular and circular cutouts or holes. Okay, start. So therefore, make a note. See, now I will not tell the same thing again and again. First you are right. You require moment of inertia about centroidal axis, Ixx, Iyy. So you have to locate xx and yy by locating centroid G. Now, once you write all those statements, to locate centroid G, you should first observe the cross section. See here. You write the cross section once again. You write the same sketch once again. Then see, this is perfectly symmetrical. Nobody in a beam, they will go for unsymmetrical section. So, second time, see in the question it is not given. So this is 230 means 230 by 2, 230 by 2. See later. See now. Later I will mark it, yy. Exactly 230 by 2, 230 by 2. So it is symmetrical about, this is your axis of symmetry. You write there. Axis of symmetry, that is your yy axis. So you have to locate only, which one? You have to locate only xx axis. To locate xx, you require y bar. So for y bar, take any reference, we will take bottom edge reference. See, after this question, I will solve some few questions, somewhat exercise type. Okay, 75. Okay, see, you will take bottom edge reference, AB. I usually prefer AB name, AB. From AB, we will take y this way. See, this way y. So y bar from AB. Before that, you would consider how to divide into parts, 3 parts. One full rectangle, 230 by 500. See, 230 by 500 is 1. So make a note, 1 is full rectangle. So its centroid will be here, where 500 by 2, 500 by 2. Okay, then 2 is the upper side rectangular cutout. 3 is the lower side circular cutout. Therefore, this is 2, this is 3. So the actual is 1 minus 2 minus 3. Make this note. Start. Y bar from AB. A1 y1 minus A2 y2 minus A3 y3 by total area A1 minus A2 minus A3. Start. A1 full area 230 by 500 into y1 from here half of 500 minus this area 120 by 65 into y2 from here is 75 plus 110. I not explain. 75 is given in the question. 75. Diameter is 110. Then this is 50 and 65. So the gap will be 200. So y2 is 75 plus 110 plus 200 plus 65 by 2. But instead of that way, directly you can do y2 equal to 500 minus 50 minus 65 by 2. Written here. Minus this area. Pi by 4 of how much? 110 square diameter. 110 square into its centroid from base. 75 plus half of 110 Divide by A1 minus A2 minus A3, your y bar will come 248.2998. I am rounding up to third decimal. Since I am rounding up to third decimal, see here, this 8 will make it, this 9 will become 0, 0, 2, 299 and 8 is there, it will become 3. So 248.3. So see here, from here to centroid is total 500, half of 500 is 250, slightly before center. See, very minutely, see G1, go that side, you are disturbing me. Okay, see, red color, somewhere here. This is your x-axis. Okay, now I will mark G1 because it was disturbing me. Because, okay, now you are, see, you are G1, keep quiet. Now from here, see, to here, this is your y bar. How much? 248.3. Then from the top edge to here will be total 500, subtract it, 251.7. Okay, this is the x-axis. Now, by symmetry, locate y. Actually, for analysis purpose, you require only I about xx because the bending is about this axis, neutral axis. Therefore, Iyy is not required. But in our chapter, we will find Iyy. See, this is your yy. So directly, if it is 230, yy will be at 230 by 2 is 115. From here also, 115. Okay. This is the cross section of the PSC used for a PSC beam, and we want to know I about xx and I about yy. This all I will remove now. Next, okay. 74. I will make a note. Next question number 75. Okay. This full I will remove. Single stretch I will do. This time I will not write because I am not giving the answer. See, or someone will tell. Every question he is doing, he is not giving answer. Why you want the answer when I wrote all the steps? Are you by hearting the answer? No. Are you by hearting that answer? Procedure is more important. But if you solve in examination answer required, you can't tell the examiner, you calculate. You can't do that way. Okay, now start. Calculation of I about xx and I about yy. First, usual statement you write. By parallaxis theorem, I about any axis equal to ig plus a square, you should write. I am not writing. So now, start. I about xx, 3 times you have to do. Okay, sufficient space. I about xx and I about xx, 3 times. Therefore, finally, Ixx, you should write here, answer. Okay. Then calculate, first one thing, okay, now after writing all the statement, first calculation of Ixx. Then little later, calculation of Iyy. Again you require Iyy 3 times. I am preparing this usual portion to save the time. Here, see, Ixx for 1, Ixx for 2, Ixx for 3, Iyy for 1, Iyy for 2, Iyy for 3. Start. Xx axis. Come to centroid. I about its own centroidal axis. It is here, see, here. 230 into 500 cube. 230 into 500 cube divided by 12. Anyway, for your information, I'll tell you 1 minute now. Plus area. 230 into 500 is the area. Multiplied by, important term, perpendicular distance from centroid to xx axis. This distance square is 251.7 minus from here to centroid is half of 500 minus 500 by 2 whole square. You calculate the answer. Okay, calculate it. Ixx power 2. First, I about its own centroidal axis, parallel to xx. 120 into 65 cube by 12. 120 into 65 cube divided by 12 is Ig plus area. Someone told earlier, sir, not plus, sir, but minus. Why? Removed area. No, when you find Ixx power 2, you find I about xx of this rectangle. See, removed part, no, we are accounting here. Final Ixx equal to Ixx power 1 minus Ixx power, oh yes sir, got it. Okay, then plus area. Sometimes the confusion, people. When you do moment of inertia, don't think it's a removed part. You do as if it's an existing part. But when you do final answer, remove it. Okay, into, see, from centroid G2 to xx, see, this distance square. This distance square is 251.7 minus from here to here is 50 and also minus 65 by 2. Minus 50 minus 65 by 2 whole square. Calculate this answer. Ixx power 3. I'll tell you one more thing now. Ixx power 3 is first I about its own centroidal axis, circular section. Pi by 64 of diameter power 4. Oh, I forgot to write diameter here. You know the diameter, okay. Diameter is 110. See, 110 diameter, okay. Pi by 64 of 110 power 4 diameter plus area. Pi by 4 of 110 square is the area multiplied by from centroid of the I about its own axis over this distance square is 248.3. See, from centroid to xx, this distance square, 248.3 minus 75 minus 110 divided by 2 whole square. You get the answer. Now get all the three answers right. Therefore, Ixx for the given cross section, considering the two empty part, considering that rectangle and circular portion removed, is Ixx power 1, you should write it, Ixx power 1 minus Ixx power 2 minus Ixx power 3. I should not waste time on this one. Calculate. Okay, start. I about Yy. Now, before I start, see, G1, G2, G3, all these three lie in the Yy axis. Therefore, when you find I moment of inertia about Yy axis, what happens when you write Ig plus Ah square, perpendicular distance from centroid, each centroid to Yy is 0. So, or I told you, whenever you find moment of inertia, if the centroid lies in the required axis, see, when you want the xx axis, none of the centroids lie in xx, it is outside. But when you want I about Yy axis, all three centroids lies in Yy, not lies, plural, lie in Yy, therefore 0 square. Okay, start. First, I about its own centroidal axis. 500 into 230 cube, 500 into 230 cube divided by 12 Ig plus formality purpose. 500 into 230 is the area into 0 square. Okay. Next, I about Yy for 2. First about its own centroidal axis. 65 into 120 cube by 12. 65 into 120 cube divided by 12 Ig plus 65 into 120 is the area into, once again, just now explain, 0 square. I about Yy for circle here, about its own centroidal axis. Pi by 64 of 110 power 4 Ig plus area pi by 4 of 110 square into, I think it is not into bracket, once again 0 square. Calculate, calculate, calculate. Final Iyy is 1 minus 2 minus 3. I told you, write the answer. Close this question. See here, upper side I made a rectangular cut. lower side I made a circular cut. May be possible both are rectangular cuts, or top there is no cut, bottom there can be two cuts on either side. This all I will take now, but briefly I will solve. One critical question solved here now, briefly. Or next question I will do one thing now. Upper side I will make a circular cut, and lower side I will make two rectangular cuts. That I will explain. Further questions will be exercise for you. Okay. This question is 75. Just I'll make a note now only. Next 76. Okay. See. Rectangular section, all in millimeter. I forgot write actually. Okay, those who want write. Now to save the time, I am writing find IXX, IYY, all in millimeter. Formality, how many times I will write? See, 400 by total 600. A circular hole of diameter 140. Edge is at 90. Two rectangular holes of 100, 100, 85. 70 from the bottom edge. Now, actual is, you write here. So therefore, the actual is, what we will do? Full rectangle we will take 1. Cutout circle we will take 2. So 1 minus 2. These two empty rectangles I will take 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Therefore, A1Y1 minus A2Y2 minus A3Y3 minus A4Y4 by total area, A1 minus A2 minus A3 minus A4. And before that, see, 90, 140, I written here, 70, 85. So in between gap will be 215. Then G1, exactly center, G2, G3, G4. Now, before you go further, make a note, axis of symmetry. Right here, exactly here, YY, you write it here, directly. So YY is direct, only XX you have to locate using Y bar. So Y bar from AB, start. A1 into full rectangle area, so you can see the area there, into Y1, half of 600, minus this circular area into Y2 from here is, instead of struggling here, from here to, I forgot to mark AB, reference axis I not done, some will tell, he wrote Y bar from AB and not telling where is AB. I'll leave the class, don't come to my class, once again I will tell. Class after class, I am marking bottom edge AB. If you see, finding mistake is there. If a technical mistake is there, you find out. I will sincerely agree if someone will find a mistake, technical mistake. Not this time he has not shown where is Y bar, he has not shown how is the Y value. No, my class is not for you. Okay. A1, Y1 over A2, Y2 is 600 minus 90 minus 140 by 2. And then A3, 100 by 85. See, A3 into Y3, 70 plus half of 85. Then do one thing, identical for this one. So into 2. See, A1, Y1 minus A2, Y2 minus A3, Y3. Again minus A4, Y4 by A1 minus A2 minus A3 into 2 means again A4. 304.973 will come. Therefore, show the calculation. I will remove this one now. This is not required now. None of them required. Even this is also not required. Okay. I require only the next question number. I should not rub it. That otherwise I have to stop the recording and once again start. Okay. So, see, I removed that Y bar also. I think it's in the calculator. No problem. Because once I got from bottom, I checked from top. I know the top answer. From the top I got 295.027. I really calculated minus 600. Y bar you got 304.973. Okay. 304.973 means, see, this is 300, slightly above. I think the G1 is little down. Hey, Jeevan, you come little down. Ah, yes, now better. Otherwise, someone will find a mistake. Okay, now okay. So people are there who will find, who will go for mistake solve. G1. Okay, now see, this is 300. How much I told just now? See, forgot. 304.973 means slightly above. See, last question it came slightly below. This time it came slightly above. See, so therefore covered. Both are covered. XX. So from here to here is 304 point. See, I'm so bad in by hurting all. 304.973. 973. 973. Then from top it will be 295.027. 027. Okay. Okay, I'll round off. This also I'll round off to 304.973. 304.973. Okay, round it off. Now start. Usual calculations you write. Calculation of IXX, IYY. I won't unnecessary waste now. Calculation of IXX. See, IXX for 1, IXX for 2, IXX for 3, IXX for 4. Therefore, final answer here. Then calculation of IYY. Again, IYY for 1, IYY for 2, IYY for 3, IYY for 4. IYY for 1, red color is coming once again. For 1, for 2, for 3, for 4. For 1, 2, 3, 4. Start. IXX. First about its own center. Part number 1, rectangle, own axis. 400 into 600 cube by 12. 400 into 600 cube divided by 12 is IG plus area. 400 into 600 is the area into the most powerful term from centroid G1 to XX. This distance square is 304.973 minus from here to here is half of 600. 600 by 2 whole square. Calculate the answer. IXX for 2. I about its own axis. That is how much? Pi by 64 of diameter. 140 power 4. Nobody should ask doubt about this one. Why? If this is not clear, you are wasting your time attending my class. 140 square into I about its own axis plus area into from G2 to XX, this distance square. 295.027 minus 90 minus 140 by 2 whole square. Calculate the answer. IYY for 3. Sorry, IXX for 3. First I about its own axis. 100 into 85 cube by 12. 100 into 85 cube divided by 12 IG plus 100 into 85 is the area into from centroid G3 to XX. This distance square is 304.973 minus 70 minus 85 by 2. 85 by 2 whole square. Calculate. Then IXX for 4, don't waste time, equal to IXX for 3. Whatever you got right here. Then complete the formality. Final IXX equal to IXX for 1 minus IXX for 2 minus IXX for 3 minus IXX for 4. Or you can do one thing, ixx power 1 minus ixx power 2 minus ixx power 3 into 2. Okay. Now I about yy axis. See, start. Mark yy directly through centroid. This is yy. If you want, that is total 400, both of this will be, see, this will be 200, 200, 200 and 200. Now, see, one nimisha. Okay, no problem. 200, 200. Start. Iyy. Iyy for 1. First, I about its own centroidal axis. 600 into 400 cube divided by 12. 600 into 400 cube divided by 12 plus area. 600 into 400 is the area into, see, centroid, the G1, this is G1. It should be green color, not blue color. Okay. It can't be red color, G1. Okay. Centroid G1 lies in YY, therefore into 0 square. Calculate. Iyy for 2. I about its own centroidal axis. 5 by 64 5 by 64 into 140 power 4 plus 5 by 4 of 140 square into, again G2 also, this is G2, lies in YY. Therefore, once again, 0 square. Iyy for 3. Now this is something I remembered. Okay. Iy for 3. First, I about its own centroidal axis. See here. 85 into 100 cube by 12. 85 into 100 cube divided by 12 Ig plus area. 85 into 100 is the area into, once again, 0 square. 0 square. Calculate. Now, Iy for 4, don't waste time, equal to Iyy for 3. Now, finish the formality. Therefore, final Iyy equal to Iyy for 1 minus Iyy for 2 minus Iyy for 3, again minus Iyy for, or combined Iyy for 3 into 2 minus, that also will do. Okay, now I will go for some exercises. Someone will ask, sir, what is that IANTMOAF? That is, I am not that much of a fool. You know what is fool means? I am not that much of a fool to write 0 square here. What is this nonsense right here? What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? See, G1 lies in YY, 0 square. G2 lies, when I do G3 here, I about its own axis into this distance square required. So therefore it is not 0 square. Be careful. I told, because otherwise someone will be happy. Oh, this person finally made a mistake. Now 1 minute now. To get the distance, you require this offset here. This offset is not given in the question. What to do? I will tell the reason why not given. See, some offset will be there. It is not given in the question because usually for such pre-stressed concrete beams, I about XX required, I about YY not required. So this offset here is required when you find IYY. Therefore, you do one thing, you go back to the question and add one data there. See, you go back to the question and add one extra data here, this data. That this data given is, says, for example, on the 100, 200, 200 means another 200, on the 50, 150, 75. Any 75 is there? No. You make a note here. In the question you enter 75, 75. Actually, it is not required so far. So, you go back to the question. Now go back to the question and mark 75. Or still if it is not given, what you can do is, see, total to 400. 100 lesser. 200. One gap here, one gap here, one gap here. You imagine this gap equal to this gap, equal to this gap. So divide by 3, that also will do. So they should give it. See, to get IYY, some information required. So right, that's why I told, I am not that much of a fool. This is the mistake people will do. When they write 0 square, in the mind will come, oh, when you do IYY, all 0 square comes. No, 0, last time, see, your rectangle was here. Then the centroid coincide in YY. But this time it is outside. So into this distance square is 200. That's why I wrote 200 minus 75 minus 100 by 2. 100 by 2 whole square. See, from here to here is 200 minus 75 minus 100 by 2 whole square. In the offline class, I will write something like that. Otherwise, when I, in a hurry, when I put 0 square here, some student will tell, sir. What? Sir, not 0 square, sir. Why? Sir, its centroid is not lying in YY, sir. When you do YY, see, its source axis here, so distance is there. Oh, yes, correct. Then, so majority will be laughing. Even if he is a newcomer only, if he is a usual student, he also knows it. Sometimes in colleges it happens. People get excited to find a mistake. Then I will tell, see, I know this one. I wrote already. I am not that much of a fool. I wrote earlier for this reason. I just made what mistake you will make. That mistake you will make. I will not make such silly mistake. That much common sense is there for me. When you look at the sketch only, I can make out. When you want IYY for this rectangle, how it can be 0 square? See, distance is there. Okay. Now, 76 next. Now I will do one thing now. Sufficient. I will give some 3 questions as exercise for you with the direct answer. You should do it. All 3 are valid questions. 76, 77, 78. Okay. I will write and start. See, now I decided 4 more questions. 76, 77, 78, 79. All questions. Remember, all these are exercises. All are exercises for you. You have to solve. I will not tell anything much. See, I already wrote the answer there. Now answer is required. Why? Because if you make a mistake, you can't make out. So, all the section questions, dimensions are in millimeter. See, 300 by 450, 180 by 80 cut out at 40. That's all. One rectangle cut out here. Here. This question. Top cut out here. Earlier, see, one question we did bottom circle, top rectangle, top circle, bottom rectangle, 2 rectangles over. Now simple questions. See here. 250 by 500. 50 gap. Circle of diameter 115 cut out. Okay, solve this question. 78 and 79, observe, 200 by 700, 225 by 550. Rectangle, see, this is 125, this also 125. 120, this also 120. 90, 90. Therefore, see, this question and this question, see, symmetrical about YY, XX you have to locate, see. I located XX here. I located XX. YY I will directly locate. Distance you write. If it is 300, you write here 150 and 150. 150, 150. Therefore, now see Y bar, if you do from bottom, you will get 207.687 IXX IYY. This time I wrote the answer Therefore, this time you have to practice. See, you should get the answer now. Otherwise, how you know that you are done correctly? Okay, then this question over. Now, answer is there. I will tell now only for this question. Also, see, symmetrical about YY, XX you have to look at. See, here you can make one thing. See, top cutout, centroid shifted little below. Here, bottom cutout, centroid shifted little above center of rectangle. I will write the answer for this one now, same way. So therefore, remember, 76 and 77, XX you have to locate. I will not tell once again now. But 78 and 79, observe, they are fully symmetrical about YY and also about XX. See, identical here, identical here. So, this 78 and 79, no calculation of no Y X bar calculation and also no Y bar calculation. Directly through center mark XX and through center mark YY. So, 78 and 79, there is no question of locating centroid by calculation, directly mark. So now I will give answer for 77 I will give now. 76 already I gave the answer here. 77 I will prepare the answer with sketch. Okay, I calculated Y bar, I got 262 point something, I wrote here. I wrote the answer IXX, IYY. Now, answer for question 78 and 79. I will do both simultaneously. I will do both simultaneously. I will remove this one now. You check, solve the question. 77 over 78 and 79. See. Simultaneously I will do 78 first. For 78. See, this is some space problem is there. I will use available space. Oh, last time question. I forgot to mark YY, I think. If I forgot to YY, you mark YY. Okay. 200 by 700. See. 200 by 700. Little deep. Okay. Not to scale. 700. 7.5 is 350. 90 plus 110 is 210. Okay. Here. How much there? Same here also. Okay. Now, one rectangle, cutout rectangle, how much? 125 by 120. See, this way. One cutout rectangle. How much distance is there? Same distance here also. Identical, same distance. Okay, somewhat okay, somewhat okay. Leave it. Exact scale I will not bother. See, I'll do one thing here. This is for question 78. For question 78. This full is how much? Full is 200. Total is 700. Little this side. Space problem will come. 700. Okay. 700. Now, this width of rectangle is 125. Same width here also, see. Same width here also. This depth of rectangle is how much is 120. 120. Same depth here also. 120. This gap is 90. This gap also is 90. Okay. This gap you find out. I'm not interested. Now, here, you take full rectangle as 1. This cutout is 2, this cutout is 3. No need of finding any X bar, Y bar. Right here, due to symmetry, XX will come. Before that one, see, I forgot. Before that one, usual. This is centroid G1 for full rectangle. Centroid G2, centroid G3. It should come in the line. G2, G3. Okay. G3. This should have gone. Little problem is there. Okay, okay. Don't bother about those things all. Okay, okay. Out of scale. See, if you worry about it, there's a limit for everything. XX. Without any calculation, right here, total 700, 350 here, 350 here. Y comes here, see. Y. Without calculation, these two are 100, 100. 100 and 100. Now, you require for this question, what is I about XX? What is I about YY? 1 minute. Let's check the camera once. Hope it's not beyond the camera. Just for safer side. No, plenty of space is there. Okay. I have not calculated. I will calculate now. Not a big issue. That is 125 into. Now you calculate correctly. I won't explain. 25 into 120 cube divided by 12. 125 into 120 into bracket 350 minus 90 minus 60 close square into 2 into minus 1 plus 200 into 700 cube divided by 12. 4480 IXX. It's a color problem. 4480 .66667 6667 10 to the power 6 millimeter power 4. 1 minute now. I got a small check for me. 200 into 700 cube divided by 12 is okay, correct. 6. Okay. IYY. 125 cube divided by 6 into minus 1 plus 100 into 200 cube divided by 12. By chance, if any answer is wrong, you will let me know in the comment section. Comments you write there. I will give correction. I will add the comment there. I will put a comment there. Yes, that calculation is wrong. Correct answer is so and so. Or I will tell, no, you are wrong. Check once again. 427.6042. 41667 is 42 sufficient. 10 to the power 6 millimeter power 4. This is for question number 78. Now, lastly, question number 79. I will write here only. Question 79. For question 79, answer. See, 225 by 550. Available space I should see now. Or I can do one thing. I can remove this one. Why struggle for space when this is already over? See, when it's already over, why struggle for space? I can rub this one. Okay. Question number 79. For question 79, 225 by 550. 225 by 550. Okay. Exact scale I will not maintain. This total is 550. Now only this is my part 1. See, this is my part 1. Part 1. G1. Then diameter 100. 5 and how much gap? 80. 80 plus 100 is 180. This is 275, somewhere here and somewhere here. So I think it should come little down. Okay. How much is 100 plus 80, 180. This is at 550 by 2 is 275. 180 comes here, 180 comes here. 180. Okay, reasonably okay. So exact scale is not required. Leave it. Who bothers about scale? Okay, done. Dia equal to 100. This also dia equal to 100. Actually, previous question, see this question also, this I will take 2, this I will take 3. Actually, when you do moment of inertia, you do for 2, both the questions, this and previous, 3 equal to 2. You can write that way. Okay. Now gap. This is 80. This diameter is 100. This is 100. Up to here. 180. This gap you write if you want. Now x-axis. X-axis here. Directly without calculating x-axis here. Symmetry is there. 550 means 275, 275. Y. See, now I forgot to mark G2, G3. Okay, not required. G2 and G3. All should come in one line. See? Y axis. Y axis. 225. You write here. 112.5. Now you require for this question, what is IXX and IYY? Both are in millimeter power 4. Why waste energy? IXX. Pi by 64 of 100 power 4 equal to plus pi by 4 of 100 square into 275 minus 80 minus 50 whole square into 2 is for 2 circles into minus 1 plus 225 into 550 cube divided by 12. You work out correctly. No, don't try my 2779. Okay, I'll write what color comes here. 2779.4538. 0.4538 10 to the power 6 is IXX. IYY is 550 into 225 cube divided by 12 minus 5 by 32 of 100 power 4. 100 power 4 equal to divided by 10 to the power 6. Someone will tell, sir, not 32, sir, 64. I know it. See, pi by 64, 2 times you have to subtract. That's why I took pi by 32. Don't interfere in my calculation. Oh, sorry, sir, correct, sir, yes. Then, do you think that much knowledge I am not having? How I can tell pi by 32? I did my own calculation. You don't do all those things. 512.25, not 2528 10 to the power 6. If wrong means let me know in the comment section, in the comment box. I will correct it. Okay, so this 550 became inclined. See, late night. Okay, let it be there, that way only. If someone comments, let them comment. He does not know how to draw a vertical line. Okay, no problem. I don't know anything. Okay, work out all the question. So next class is 80. I should remember it. Next class 80. And I'll tell one more thing now. Next class what I am doing is all the how to find moment of inertia about centroidal axis for rectangle, triangle, all the cases, semicircle, quadrant, etc. over. We are using, see, when I want I here, I about its own axis I am doing. So second round, a reminder will be there tomorrow because more questions are there. Like in between rest. See, tomorrow one class, I will not do any problem. I will go for a reminder. Once again remember all these things, just for your benefit, not my benefit. Okay, solve all the questions now. If by chance, if any answer is not tallying, comment session right there in the comments. Right there, answer is so and so. I will check it. Then if still my answer is correct, I will tell sorry, you are wrong. Do it once again. Or do it repeatedly till you get the answer. By chance, if I have done a wrong calculation, then I will, in the comment I will write there below, reply, yes. But I won't write sorry for that one. There is nothing to be sorry word I don't use because that is only when I make a technical mistake. That mistake will not be there. Calculation mistake, spelling mistake, Rarely grammar mistake all can happen because English is not my mother tongue. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet in the next class.